Holy Spirit, take control. Let your name be glorified. Today is a new beginning. It shall be well with our nation. It shall be well with all of us. It shall be well with people that are rejoicing with us. And after all said and done, if every other thing given to us is taken away, your Holy Spirit will never depart from our life. Give us a place in your eternal bliss. Thank you, Holy Spirit. We know you will do far more exceedingly, even than our own expectation, because you are our maker. In Jesus' most wonderful name we are praying.
Amen.
And the people of the Lord will say,
Amen.
people of God will say,
Amen.
people of the Most High God are saying,
Amen.
come and do something for the Lord Jesus.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, that was the opening prayers done by Imam Dr. Muhammad Kabir and Bishop Stephen Adekpite. Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, it will be recalled that the Nigerian general elections were held in our dear country some months ago. The Presidential and National Assembly elections was conducted on 25th February 2023. The elections ended with the governorship and state assembly elections on 18 March 2023. During the presidential elections, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and his running mate, His Excellency Kashim Shettima of the ruling party, All Progressive Congress, APC for short, were declared winner. And it's on that note that we are gathered here to witness the presidential inauguration and swearing-in ceremony on this auspicious and unique event.
Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, il faut savoir que les élections générales ont eu lieu au Nigeria il y a quelques mois. Les élections présidentielles et celles de l'Assemblée nationale ont eu lieu le 25 février 2023. Après les élections, le président et son colistier, son Excellence Bola Ahmed Tinubu et son Excellence Kashim Shettima du parti au pouvoir sont déclarés les gagnants. Voilà pourquoi nous sommes ici pour cette occasion historique, l'investiture et la prestation de serment au président et le vice-président élu. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. On that note, may I now respectfully invite the Chief Registrar of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Hajo Sariki Bello, who will in turn invite His Lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, to administer the oath of office.
Son Excellence, Mesdames et Messieurs, j'ai le grand plaisir d'inviter le greffier en chef de la Cour suprême du Nigeria qui va inviter Sa Seigneurie, le juge en chef du Nigeria, la justice Olukayode Ariwola, pour faire prêter le serment d'office au vice-président élu du Nigeria, Son Excellence Alhaji Kashim Shettima.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice Olukayode Ariwola is the head of the judicial arm of the government of Nigeria and presides over the country's Supreme Court and the National Judicial Council. Honorable Justice Ariwola was appointed and confirmed Chief Justice of Nigeria on 27 June and 21st September 2022, respectively. Before his elevation to the Supreme Court, His Lordship served as Justice of Court of Appeal in Kaduna, Enugu, and Lagos divisions. This morning, His Lordship Ariwola will carry out his statutory responsibility as he administers the oath of office to His Excellency Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima and His Excellency President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you very much. At this juncture, with deference to the office of the Vice President, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, may I now crave the indulgence of the Commander Gas Brigade to respectfully invite His Excellency, the Vice President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, to please proceed to the saluting days for the oath of office, and he is to be accompanied by his wife, Hajiya Nana Shettima.
Mesdames et Messieurs, l'activité que nous allons témoigner dans quelques minutes est la prestation des serments d'office au vice-président élu Son Excellence Sa Kashim Shettima, et sera faite par le juge en chef du Nigeria, Son Excellence Sa Majesté la Justice Ariola. Merci beaucoup.
Oath of allegiance. I, Kashim Shettima, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God. Judicial oath. I, Kashim Shettima, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly to the best of my ability and faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law. That I will abide by the code of conduct contained in the 5th schedule of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct or my official decisions. That I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a still event unfolding here at the Eagle Square, Abuja, Nigeria, venue for the presidential inauguration and swearing-in ceremony between the outgoing president and the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We witnessed a while ago the vice president-elect taking his oath of office.
one will not go to that. Is it correct that you know?
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger. Congratulations, Your Excellency. At this point, may I crave the indulgence of the Commander Gas Brigade to kindly usher the new Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to take his seat at the VIP stand. The Commander, sir.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'était la prestation de serment au nouveau vice-président du Nigeria, son Excellence Kashim Shettima, qui est accompagné avec sa belle-femme Hadja Nana Kashim Shettima.
Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests,
Mesdames et messieurs,
ladies and gentlemen,
le vice-président du Nigeria, il est allé saluer le président sortant, son Excellence président Mamadou Buhari, et le vice-président, vice-président Yemi Osinbajo. Nous avons des personnalités ici. Nous avons ici même devant moi le président du Libéria, le président George Weah, le président du Niger, et autres personnalités qui sont là au nom de la fraternité et la solidarité africaine. Soyez les bienvenus, le seul ballon d'or africain.
thank you very much. Next to be sworn in is the exalted office of His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. May I once again crave the indulgence of the Commander Gas Brigade to please invite His Excellency, the 16th President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, to the saluting days for the swearing-in of oath of office. And he's been accompanied by
Excellence, invité distingué, mesdames et messieurs, c'est un moment historique pour le Nigeria. J'invite respectueusement le commandant de la brigade des gardes d'inviter le président élu de la République fédérale du Nigeria, son Excellence Bola Ahmed Tinubu, accompagné par sa belle femme, Madame Oluremi Tinubu, pour la prestation du serment. Excellence, vous avez la parole.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Badeja.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Applaudissements.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly, to the best of my ability, and faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the law, that I will abide by the Code of Conduct contained in the 5th schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct or my official decisions, that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So help me God.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he takes his oath of office and sign the dotted lines confirming him as the new President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
C'est le moment historique. Maintenant, la prestation du serment par son Excellence, le Président de la Nigeria, son Excellence Bola Ahmed Tinubu, qui maintenant prête le serment. Maintenant, c'est la signature.
While the President is signing, just like her predecessor, we heartily welcome the 16th First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Senator Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, wife of the 16th President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, an educationist, administrator, and philanthropist, Oluremi Tinubu, as First Lady of Lagos State, established the New Era Foundation, dedicated to establishing centers for all-round development of young ones and promote public awareness on environmental health and community service. Oluremi Tinubu has executed a lot of philanthropical acts to alleviate the plight of indigent persons, and most importantly, she has touched the lives of girls and women in her constituency. In recognition of her achievements and contribution to societal upliftment, Senator Oluremi Tinubu has been honored severally, both locally and internationally. Among these are the National Award of the Officer of the Order of the Niger, Ghana Noble International Award of Leadership, Gambia Diamond Award for immense contribution to the emancipation of people from poverty, many citations and chieftaincy titles. In appreciation of her contribution as a role model, the West African Women Association named the Oluremi Tinubu Women Training Center in Gorom, Senegal, after her. From First Lady, Lagos State, to Senator, and today, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You are heartily welcome on board.
Mesdames et messieurs, voici le moment. Eagle Square a éclaté. Nous avons applaudi avec la prestation de serment au président du Nigeria, son Excellence Président Bola Ahmed Tinubu, le Jagaban. La biographie de la première dame nigériane. La première dame nigériane, Madame Oluremi Tinubu, elle est pédagogue, l'administrateur, philanthrope. Elle est née le 21 septembre 1960. Madame Tinubu a fait ses études supérieures à l'Université d'Ife après lequel elle est devenue la première dame de Lagos. Elle a posé sa candidature aux élections. Elle est devenue membre députée depuis le 28 mars 2015. Madame, tenez-vous en reconnaissance de ses réalisations et réalisations de ses contributions à l'amélioration de la société. Elle a été honorée plusieurs fois, localement et internationalement. Actuellement, elle est la 6e première dame du Nigeria. Félicitations, membres de députés Oluremi Tinubu, la nouvelle première dame du Nigeria. Merci beaucoup.
Okay. Go this way with the family. Go this way. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, congratulations once again.
Excellence, Monsieur le Président, félicitations au Président du 16e du Nigeria, Son Excellence, Président Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Excellence, félicitations, félicitations, Excellence.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the swearing in, what we shall be witnessing next is the lowering of the national and defense flags, which may interest all our dignitaries to know that at the end of every dispensation, the national and defense flags are being lowered, which signifies the end of a dispensation. A new national and defense flag are being received from His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to be hoisted back on the poles, signifying the commencement of a new dispensation. We shall be witnessing that shortly. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, taking you back to the happenings on the parade ground, to the far right of the parade, we can see the color bearers who would be participating in the lowering and hosting of the new national and defense flag, and are being accompanied this morning by the Regimental Sergeant Major Guards Brigade, Nigerian Army, Master Warrant Officer Aliu Umar. The flag bearers are Corporal Kalu Chigozie of the Nigerian Army, Able Seaman Etimwa Emmanuel of the Nigerian Navy, Sergeant Kanu Samson of the Nigerian Army, and Sergeant Undoma Patrick of the Nigerian Air Force. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it may interest you to know that this highly regimented aspect of the occasion is usually observed during transition of power, as we will witness shortly. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please happy viewing.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'activité que nous témoignons à côté des as de salutation et l'abaissement des drapeaux. Il y a deux drapeaux, si vous voyez bien. Il y a le drapeau de la défense et le drapeau national. L'abaissement des drapeaux signifie la nouvelle ère et le nouveau drapeau, le nouveau ère dans la dispensation de la justice au Nigeria. Et voici ce que nous allons témoigner. Les activités sont faites par deux soldats de marine nationale et de l'armée de terre.
National flag!
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please may we all rise while officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute as the national and defense flag are being lowered while the retreat is played. Thank
Mesdames
you.
et messieurs, les officiers en uniforme et les sous-officiers doivent saluer. C'est une activité très militaire qui signifie la passation du pouvoir entre l'ancien président Mohamed Buhari et le nouveau président Bola Ahmed Tinubu. C'est une activité par la force armée nigériane qui va signifier le changement de drapeau, entre autres. Merci beaucoup.
That was the lowering of the national and defense flag done by Corporal Kalu Chigozie of the Nigerian Army and Able Seaman Etimoa Emmanuel of the Nigerian Navy, signifying the end of a dispensation in the political arena of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And at the end of the lowering of the national and defense flags, they would now proceed to fold the flag before handing them over to the Regimental Sergeant Major Gas Brigade, who will in turn proceed to hand it over to the Commander Gas Brigade, Brigadier General A.M. Umar, after which he will also proceed to hand it over to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Loki Irabo, CFR, who would be finally handing it over to the immediate past president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, signifying the end of his administration. We shall be witnessing that shortly.
Ce que se passe, mesdames et messieurs, est le pillage des deux drapeaux, le drapeau national et le drapeau de la défense. Et comme j'ai dit, vous verrez les deux officiers qui sont au terrain de parade. Il y a le commandant de brigade de garde, le général de brigade A.M. Umar, qui va recevoir les deux anciens drapeaux et les deux nouveaux drapeaux. Il le passera au chef de corps de la défense, le général Loki Irabo. Et Irabo passera les deux drapeaux au président du Nigeria, le président Bola Ahmed Tinubu. C'est ça qui signifie le début d'une nouvelle ère de la dispensation et de la gouvernance au Nigeria. C'est une activité très militaire et indication qui indique la passation du pouvoir. Voilà pourquoi nous sommes ici ce matin. Merci beaucoup.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing at the moment is the folding of the national and defense flags, and they are being done by Corporal Kalu Chigozie of the Nigerian Army, Able Seaman Etimoa Emmanuel of the Nigerian Navy, Sergeant Samson Kanu of the Nigerian Army, and Sergeant Ndoma Patrick of the Nigeria Air Force. You can see them paying compliment after folding the flag, as the flag bearers turn about and march smartly towards the Regimental Sergeant Major Guards Brigade, Master Warrant Officer Aliu Umar, who is carrying a case as he pays compliment and opens the case. You can see first the defense flag is being placed, and the old national flag is also being placed in the case, carried by the Regimental Sergeant Major Guards Brigade. They pay compliment as he turns to his right, marching smartly towards the Commander Guards Brigade, Brigadier General A.M. Umar. He comes to a halt as the commander pays compliment, and he takes a step forward and hands over the case flag to the Commander Guards Brigade as he takes his steps backward, paying compliments. And the commander turns to his right, marching towards the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, CFR, who pays compliment before receiving the case flag from the commander.
Le général de corps de brigade vient de passer le drapeau national et le drapeau de la défense. Son Excellence, le général Irabo marche majestueusement vers le président. Il passera le drapeau à l'ancien président Bouhari et M. Bouhari passera le drapeau au nouveau président Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
You can see the Chief of Defense Staff handing over the old national and defense flags to the immediate past President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, signifying the end of his administration, as a new national and defense flag will be given once again to the Chief of Defense Staff. You can see the new cased flag, the new cased national and defense flag being presented to the new President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who will in turn present the new national and defense flag to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, CFR, as he turns about.
Le président Bola Ahmed Tinubu a passé le drapeau au chef de corps de l'armée de la défense, le général Irabo. Irabo passera le drapeau au commandant des gardes de brigade et nous aurons l'usage de ces deux drapeaux dans quelques minutes. C'est la passation du pouvoir. Merci beaucoup.
You can see the Chief of Defense Staff handing over the case flag to the Commander Guards Brigade, who turns about and proceeds to hand it over to the Regimental Sergeant Major Guards Brigade, Nigerian Army, Master Warrant Officer Aliu Umar, as he pays compliment and receives the case flag from the Commander Guards Brigade, Brigadier General A.M. Umar, who pays compliment as the Regimental Sergeant Major turns about carrying the brand new cased national and defense flags to hand it over to the flag bearers as they pay compliment. He opens the case flag, and first to be retrieved is the new national flag by Sergeant Ndoma Patrick of the Nigeria Air Force, and the new defense flag by Sergeant Kanu Samson of the Nigerian Army. He pays compliment as they turn about and proceed to hand them over to Corporal Kalu Chigozie of the Nigerian Army and Able Seaman Etimo Emmanuel of the Nigerian Navy. Compliment being paid there once again as they take a step forward to receive the brand new national and defense flags. Compliment being paid as a turnabout and proceed to the polls for the hosting of the national and defense flags respectively, signifying the beginning of a new administration of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
Mesdames et messieurs, vous témoignez maintenant l'hissage du drapeau national et du drapeau de la défense, ce qui signifie le commencement de la nouvelle administration et une nouvelle ère pour le Nigeria. C'est vraiment un moment historique, l'hissage du nouveau drapeau. Merci.
National salute! Present arms!
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please may we all rise as the reveille is played while the new national and defense flags are being hoisted. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian Air Force Acosta 109 helicopter is what you are seeing flying past with the national colors to support the hoisting of the national and defense flag respectively.
C'est toujours l'hissage du drapeau national et du drapeau de la défense.
May please take your seats, thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the lowering and hosting of the national and defense flag respectively, may I now most respectfully request the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, CFR, to take his seat, and may I also crave the indulgence of the Commander Gas Brigade to usher the immediate past President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to take his seat. The Commander, sir. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's still events unfolding here at the Eagle Square, Abuja, Nigeria, where activities climaxing the presidential inauguration and swearing-in ceremony of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who witnessed a short while ago the lowering and hosting of the national and defense flag, respectively, signifying the end and beginning of a new dispensation. What we shall be witnessing any moment from now is the inspection of the various guards by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
Very good. History has just been made here at Eagle Square. The next item on the activities here would be an inspection by the new president. But a short moment ago, we saw the immediate past president, Muhammad Buhari, exit the Eagle Square. Right now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would inspect the parade, and that is being set up.
Parade! Formed up! 29 officers! 450 members of the armed forces and Nigerian police on parade, ready for your inspection, Your Excellency.
Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, that was the voice of the parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Salim Yusuf Hassan, reporting the state of the parade to the special guest of honor and requesting for the inspection of the various guards. At this point, permit me to hand over the microphone to my co-compare, Flight Lieutenant Festus Ezenyi, to guide us through the inspection of the various guards.
Thank you very much, Captain Godfrey Anebi Abapa, for the commentary so far. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I acquaint you with the citation on His Excellency, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. The special guest of honor and reviewing officer for today's historic occasion, former senator and two-term governor of Lagos State, a founding member and former national leader of Nigeria's governing party, the All Progressives Congress, a notable progressive leader, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a visionary who has made personal sacrifices to advance the common goal in Nigeria and beyond. His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu obtained a degree in business administration, accounting and management from Chicago State University, Illinois, United States of America in 1979. He was on Chicago State University Dean's List throughout his stay at the university and won an outstanding Students Award and also bagged a certificate of merit in accounting and finance. In his final year, he emerged president, Chicago State University Accounting Society. It should be worthy of mention that while still in the university, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu was headhunted for both international and local companies, including Mobile Nigeria, where he held important positions like senior auditor and company treasurer. He left the company to embark upon his political career in 1989. The virtues of courage, determination, commitment, vision, focus, and a strong sense of purpose that have characterized Bola Tinubu's politics drove his emergence as one of the country's most successful governors after Nigeria's return to democratic governance 23 years ago. His stewardship of Lagos State between 1999 and 2007 remains a reference for good governance in Nigeria and across the region. Among the most consequential and impressive of his achievements as the governor of Lagos was his revolution of the state's environmental policies and the creation of thousands of jobs for Lagosians through the private sector partnership program he established. Other important achievements while governor of Lagos include education reforms, under which now thriving mission schools were returned to their original owners after decades of government control. Free education and West African Examination Council forms for school leavers, giving underprivileged children access to further education, more career opportunities, and better life prospects. Civil service reforms, which led directly to the introduction of a more responsive and expert-led civil service in Lagos. Judicial reforms and the Lagos Master Plan blueprint, which has been and continues to be followed with great success by all subsequent governors of Lagos. Also worthy of mention is that as a first-class financial strategist, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu overhauled and reformed government and revenue collection in the state, taking Lagos from a yearly internally generated revenue of 14.64 billion naira in 1999 to 60.31 billion naira in 2006. His innovations laid the groundwork necessary for Lagos to have the revenue to improve the state and modernize living conditions of all of its inhabitants. A graceful leader imbued with courage and commitment to justice, Bola Tinubu combines practical, political acumen, strategic vision, and moral principle. When the history of the first 2 decades of the 21st century in Nigeria is written, it will record Bola Tinubu's rare courage and foresight in guiding his party, the All Progressive Congress, to victory in 2015, and how, working with other patriots, he abolished the determined efforts of the then ruling party to turn Nigeria into a one-party state. His Excellency Bola Tinubu knows politics much as he understands the game of power. Indeed, his democratic footprints go beyond Nigeria. They span the continent, especially in the immediate West African sub-region, where he has contributed personal resources, advice, and support to help sustain democracy and popular participation in many of the region's emergent democracies. His Excellency Bola Tinubu has served the cause of humanity and expanded the frontiers of freedom and democracy in Nigeria and the African continent. He is one of the Nigerians' foremost nationalists and champions of federalism. As one of the few leaders and champions of democracy with the potential and experience to improve the fortunes of his people, Bola Tinubu is the very best man, and today the 16th President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is happily married to his lovely wife, the 16th First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, and the union is blessed with amazing children.
Mesdames et messieurs, Son Excellence, le 16e président de la République fédérale du Nigeria et commandant en chef des forces armées du Nigeria, GCFR, est né le 29 mars 1952. Il a été 2 fois le gouverneur d'État de Lagos, pendant laquelle il a fait des réformes durables dans les domaines pédagogiques, financiers, judiciaires et la création des emplois. Son Excellence a eu sa licence en l'administration des affaires, comptabilité et la gestion à l'université de Chicago, Illinois, aux États-Unis. Il a aussi travaillé comme auditeur supérieur à Mobile.
Il va continuer avec les célébrations militairement. Ouais.
Thank you. That was the citation on His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. May I now hand over to my co-compare, Captain Anebi Ababa, to continue with the remaining parade.
Thank you very much, Flight Lieutenant. First to say Mrs. Olubumi Badejo and Mr. Mohammed Tijani for the wonderful citation of the special guest of honor on this auspicious occasion. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the inspection, we shall witness shortly the parade commander seeking permission to continue with the rest of the parade.
May I have your permission to carry on with the rest of the parade, Your Excellency?
Right. Presidential permission has been sought there and graciously granted by His Excellency, the special guest of honor and the reviewing officer for today's historic occasion. We can see the parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Salim Yusuf Hassan, riding on a white horse named GMB to take his position to commence the march past. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please happy viewing. Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, the still event unfolding here at the Eagle Square, where activities climaxing the presidential inauguration and swearing-in ceremony of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, TFR. Witness a while ago the parade commander giving orders for the guards to form 3 ranks and commence the march past. What you are witnessing now are the guards forming squad without changing formation, before forming an extended line formation by the guards towards the 17 days, led by Color Party. The essence is for the guards to pay their respect to the special guest of honor who has taken his position on the saluting days, and also for the reviewing officer to take a close look at the turnout of the guards who are impeccably dressed at close range. Left of the parade before presenting arms to the special guest of honor, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it will also interest you to know that the file pass towards the saluting days and the forming squads by the guards is another display of silent drill, as the guards are only reacting to the initial words of command given by the parade commander before the commencement of the march pass. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please happy viewing.
Excellences, les officiers supérieurs, les chefs d'État des pays africains qui nous ont honorés avec leur présence, mesdames et messieurs, ce que nous voyons maintenant actuellement, c'est les membres de la force armée nigériane avec le commandant des parades en avance, les escortes des drapeaux, les réduits. Ils marchent vers le dias des salutations afin de montrer et justifier la loyauté de la force armée nigériane au président, son Excellence Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Il marche majestueusement, calmement, avec la dignité, courage, la fierté, qui sont les qualités de l'armée dans le monde. Vraiment, c'est une activité kaléidoscopique, pleine de couleurs, qui signifie nouvelle ère de la disposition, nouvelle disposition au Nigeria. Mon commandant, mon capitaine Abakwa, je passe la parole à vous.
Monsieur Mohamed Tijani, distinguished guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, what you are watching at the moment are the guards forming squad to the right and left of the parade ground, preparatory for the presenting of arms to the special guest of honor to show their unalloyed loyalty to the exalted office of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To the left half of the saluting days, we have the number 1, 2, and 3 guards provided by the Nigerian Army. And to the right half of the saluting days, we have the number 4 guard provided by the Nigerian Navy.
That is different, man. That's from too long. So I can stand here now.
Of the parade ground facing the special guest of honor as they turn about now are the color party, and we have 4 colors on parade this morning. We have the national color, the Nigerian Army regimental color, the Navy color, and the Air Force color being carried by commissioned officers known as ensigns to the colors. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, witnessed a while ago the various guards paying compliments, all to show their unwavering loyalty to the special guest of honor. After paying compliments, we are now retreating back in an orderly fashion. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please
Mesdames et messieurs, comme vous voyez, il y a 6 gardes en parade ce matin. Nous avons les 2 premiers gardes composés de l'armée de terre nigériane. La 4e garde est composée de la Marine nationale. La 5e garde est composée de l'armée de l'air nigériane. Et nous avons aussi la 16e garde composée par la police nationale. Le président s'approche. Levez-vous.
Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we sit back and enjoy this beautiful parade by these amazing officers and men, permit me to acquaint you with the significance of 21 gun salute, which is part of activities lined up for today's celebration. The 21 gun salute is a military tradition used to accord respect or honor to dignitaries. Generally, saluting is done using hands, small arms and firing of artillery. Salute by gunfire is an ancient ceremony which originated in the 17th century and involves the use of artillery guns to fire ammunition, usually blanks, to welcome important dignitaries or commemorate an anniversary. Traditionally, gun salutes are presented to honor or welcome a foreign president or head of state on a state visit. It is also used to cover reopening days, marking of public holidays and independence anniversary celebrations. Others include Ascension Day, state funeral of a late president and Independence Day. In Nigeria, gun salute is provided during armed forces remembrance day celebrations, inauguration parades, independence anniversary, and in honor of visiting presidents. Today we shall be witnessing the firing of 21 gun salute to signify the great respect and unflinching loyalty that the Nigerian armed forces and the Nigerian police have for the government office and the personage of His Excellency, the President and Commander Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. On that note, that I request our distinguished guests not to panic at the sound of the volleys by the State House Artillery Battery when the 21 gun salute is being fired. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please happy viewing.
Merci beaucoup, capitaine Awakwa. Les officiers supérieurs, mesdames et messieurs, permettez-moi de vous donner une petite histoire de canon. Coup de canon, traditionnellement, est une activité militaire. Le coup de canon à l'honneur du président en visite. Et si nous avons assez de présidents en visite au Nigeria, ou au cours de l'anniversaire du chef d'État, ou le jour férié, le coup de canon, on les tire aussi le jour de l'indépendance.
guests, ladies and gentlemen. We just witnessed a while ago the guard forming squad without changing formation towards the saluting dice led by the color party to pay their respect to the special guest of honor. And also for the review officer to take a look at the turnout of the guards who are impeccably dressed at close range. Any moment from now, we shall be witnessing march past by the guards. Your Excellencies, the guards having marched into line shortly, the march past round the parade ground will commence with number 1 guard leading, and the other guards following suit in ascending order. The guards will take turn to pay their respect to the special guest of honor, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. May I have this moment please request that when the color parties marches towards your sitting position, you are please expected to rise as a mark of respect to the colors, as the colors create a feeling of pride in soldiers and ex-soldiers. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are expected to salute. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, il y aura 6 gardes en parade ce matin et nous aurons 48 personnels. Et le premier garde est commandé par Moussa Hamza Yakoubou, le commandant Moussa Hamza Yakoubou et sous-officier Mani en arrière. Nous avons aussi deuxième garde composé par l'armée de terre nigériane. Et là, comme commandant Amina Shankar, n'est-ce pas?
Standing in front of the state box are requested to move back to their seats. You are not expected to stand in front of the state box. Please move back to your seats. Move back to your seats. If you don't have anything to do in front of the state box, you are kindly requested to go back to your seats. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, taking you back to the happenings on the parade ground. Advancing squarely towards the saluting dice is the mass band. The mass band on parade today comprises personnel of the Nigerian Armed Forces and the Nigerian Police Force. The band is commanded by Squadron Leader Amos Adeyinka Olodude, the Assistant Director of Music, Headquarters Nigerian Air Force. He is assisted by Captain Kennedy Bua of the Nigerian Army and Lieutenant Commander Emmanuel Oluwole Ajayi of the Nigerian Navy and Deputy Superintendent of Police Abdurazak Mohammed. There are 6 guards on parade this morning, and each guard has a guard commander, 2 sub-guard commanders, and a strength of 48 personnel. As we can see, the parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Salim Yusuf Hassan, riding on a Sudanese built ox named GMB, is approaching the saluting dice to pay compliment to the special guest of honor, His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. And behind the parade commander is parade second in command, Lieutenant Commander Kuzayat Yali Kaza, riding on a Dogola breed horse named Yaya, after the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yaya, Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. We shall now begin by taking a quick look at various guards on parade. The number 1 guard is commanded by Major Hamza Yakubu Musa. The left sub-guard commander is Captain Jamil Ma Issa. The right sub-guard commander is Captain Teslim Folarin Sikiru. And the conducting warrant officer behind the guard is Warrant Officer Abubakar Mani. That is number 1 guard paying compliment right now. And marching closely behind number 1 guard is number 2 guard, which is commanded by Major Deborah Oluwafumilola Jayola. The left of guard commander is Captain Amina Ibrahim Shankar. And the right of guard commander is Captain Olaide Ebuolua Ogumola. The conducting warrant officer behind number 2 guard is Warrant Officer Elechi Faith. Marching closely behind number 2 guard is number 3 guard, which is commanded by Major Benjamin Toruwa Ado. Samuel, and behind Nigerian Air Force color is Master Warrant Officer Hussein Yigita. Paying compliment right now is number 4 guard, which is commanded by Lieutenant Commander Tomilayo Lukman Dali. Abasambo, riding on a horse named Umar, after the Commander Gas Brigade, Brigadier General Aminu Muhammad Umar. May I once again please request that when the color parties marches towards your sitting position, you are please expected to rise as a mark of respect to the colors. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are expected to salute. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, mon lieutenant Okonario. Mesdames et messieurs, comme vous voyez, nous sommes toujours à Eagle Square. Et toujours en avant avec, il est sur son cheval. Les autres officiers sont sur parade. Et vraiment, c'est une activité kaléidoscopique. Et vraiment, cela indique. Il annonce nouvelle ère dans la disposition du Nigeria. Mesdames et messieurs, comme vous voyez, le premier garde est commandé par le capitaine Man Issa et le commandant Moussa Hamza Yakoubou. La deuxième garde est commandée par Major en commandant Olufumi Lola. Troisième garde est commandée, il y a 4 membres des escortes de drapeau. Lorsqu'ils vous approchent, mesdames et messieurs, veuillez vous saluer. Toujours les militaires qui sont en uniforme, les officiers et les sous-officiers. Les troisième garde, mesdames et messieurs, est composé de l'armée de terre. Nous avons 3 gardes composés de l'armée de terre. La 4e garde est composée de la marine nationale. 5e garde est composée de l'armée de l'air nigériane. Et la 5e garde est composée de la police nationale. Vraiment, c'est une activité très intéressante, Nous sommes ravis avec tout ce qui se passe. Vous voyez les membres de la force armée nigériane qui sont fiers, parfaitement tenus. Ils sont rigoureux, vigilants et respectueux de la hiérarchie. Mesdames et messieurs, vous serez d'accord avec nous qu'ils se conduisent avec l'humeur, courage et dignité. Ils sont toujours disponibles et disciplinés. Voici les qualités de l'armée nigériane. En quelques minutes, ils vont changer le défilé. Au lieu de marcher lentement, ils vont marcher rapidement, toujours pour justifier et montrer leur loyauté au président de la République, le nouveau président Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed a while ago the parade break from slow time to quick time. This is just a bit of synchrony and a unique transition always exhibited by these smart and agile troops in the performance of their routine duties. The guards will once again take turn this time around in quick time to pay their respect to the special guest of honor. May I please request that when the color parties marches towards your sitting position, you are expected to rise. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are expected to salute. Your Excellency, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we sit back and enjoy this electrifying parade by these amazing men of the armed forces, permit me to acquaint you with the significance of 21-gun salute, which is part of the activities lined up for today's event. The gun salute is a form of saluting in the military tradition used to accord respect or honor to dignitaries. Generally, saluting is done using hand, sword, colors, small arms, and firing of artillery guns. Salute by gunfire is an ancient ceremony which originated in the 17th century and involves the use of artillery guns to fire ammunition, usually blanks, to welcome important dignitaries or commemorate an anniversary. Traditionally, gun salutes are presented to honor or welcome a foreign president or head of state on a state visit. It is also used to cover royal birthdays, marking of public holidays, and independence anniversary celebrations. Others include Ascension Day, State Funeral of a late president, and Democracy Day. That is number one card approaching the saluting that is right now, paying compliment to the special guest of honor, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
Mesdames et messieurs,
Your Excellencies, today you are going to witness firing of 21-gun salute to signify the great respect and unflinching loyalty that the Nigerian forces and the Nigerian police force have for the exalted office and personage of His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is number 3 guard paying compliment right now, followed by the color party. Shall we all rise as a mark of respect to the color? Officers and warrant officers in uniform are expected to salute.
Mesdames et messieurs, les escortes des drapeaux, les officiers, sous-officiers en uniforme sont priés de saluer. Merci beaucoup.
Right now, and following suit is number 6 guard provided by the Nigerian police. May I also inform our distinguished guests not to panic at the sound of the firing of 21-gun salute, for it is the sound of freedom of our great nation, Nigeria. As earlier mentioned, number 1, 2, 3 guard is provided by the Nigerian Army. Number 4 guard is provided by the Nigerian Navy. 5 guard provided by the Nigerian Air Force, and number 6 guard provided by the Nigerian Police Force. Permit me at this moment, Your Excellency, to hand over the microphone to Captain Godfrey Anebiabapa to continue with the commentary.
Thank you very much, Lieutenant Odunayo Olokodana and Mr. Mohammed Tijani for the commentary so far. Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. It's still events unfolding here at the Eagle Square, Abuja, Nigeria, where activities climaxing the presidential inauguration and swearing-in ceremony of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. We witnessed a while ago the various guards marching in slow and quick time, having paid the compliment to the special guest of honor. In a short while from now, we'll revert back to their positions and come to halt by numbers, beginning with the number one guard. That particular aspect of the parade of this magnitude is one that will be thrilling and exciting to our audiences, both here and those viewing from their TV screens at home. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, permit me to hand over the microphone to Group Captain MK Nanle to guide us through the air display by the Nigeria Air Force.
Thank you very much, Captain Abakwa. The guest of honor, sir, Your Excellencies, distinguished invited guests, I warmly and heartily welcome you all to the aerial display segment of this ceremony. 5 aircraft types from the Nigerian Air Force inventory are performing in today's aerial display. The first aircraft was the Augusta 109, which you saw, proudly displaying the national colors during the hoisting of the national and defense flags. The crew comprised Squadron Leader Larry Azi, Flight Lieutenant Shaibu and Areola. The helicopter operates out of 405 Helicopter Training Group Enugu, unit commanded by Wing Commander Deji Omokunga, tasked with the conduct of advanced combat training for NAV helicopter pilots. The remaining 4 aircraft performing will be in the following order: the F7 call sign Tiger, Super Tucano call sign Phantom, L39 call sign Cobra, and the JF-17 with call sign Thunder. The Nigerian Air Force was established to provide the full complement of forces to enhance the Nigerian military posture. This was born out of observations made by the Nigerian Army personnel during peace support operations on the need for airlift capability. Established in 1964, the Nigerian Air Force at 59 today has indeed come of age and matured into a formidable fighting force, highly capable of applying air power in pursuit of national security imperatives. Accordingly, today's aerial display will be performed by pilots and crews of the most extensively tested and probably the best air force in this region of the world. On display today will be the professionalism and skill of a highly dedicated group of airmen and airwomen. The display today is a mark of appreciation as well as a pledge of unalloyed loyalty to the constituted chain of command. To start off the aerial display today is the F7NI with call sign Tiger. This aircraft is piloted by Squadron Leader Haina Ambi from the 101 Air Defense Group Makurdi, unit commanded by Group Captain MB Mwazu. Distinguished guests, please cast your attention to the 3 o'clock position to acquire the Tiger as it comes for an afterburner pass. May I also crave your indulgence not to panic at the Tiger's roar. This sound of freedom is a nightmare to terrorists and bandits, but it's also a morale booster for ground forces. Ladies and gentlemen, the Tiger. The red-hot flames at the tail of the aircraft are the result of the afterburners, which act to increase the thrust of the aircraft and allow it to generate a very high rate of turn. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for this agile interceptor of your beloved Nigerian Air Force. The F7 is a supersonic fighter interceptor aircraft with the primary role of defending the territorial airspace of Nigeria. Since its induction into the Nigerian Air Force in 2010, it has played a vital role in defending the nation. The next is the Phantom formation, comprising 3 Super Tucano aircraft which operate out of 407 Air Combat Training Group Kainji. In the lead aircraft, we have Squadron Leader Kabir Usman and Wing Commander James Santiago Bako, the unit commander. Number 2 is being flown by Squadron Leaders Festus Oga and Dr. Super Hastrop. While in number 3, we have Squadron Leader Zaki Getso and Flying Officer Moses Kassam. The Phantom formation will execute a lazy head maneuver and an echelon turn to set up for a bomb burst maneuver overhead the arena. The Super Tucano was inducted into the Nigerian Air Force in 2021. It's a light attack aircraft manufactured by Sierra Nevada Corporation, United States of America, in partnership with Embraer Defense and Security Company of Brazil. So far, the aircraft has performed exceptionally in combat operations across various theaters to ensure the security of our dear nation. Right now, the Super Tucano is performing the Lazy 8 maneuver in Vic formation. The maneuver derives its name from the manner in which the extended longitudinal axis of the airplane's information are made to trace a flight pattern in the form of a figure 8 lying on its side. The objective of the Lazy 8 is to develop the pilot's feel for various control surfaces and the ability to plan and remain oriented while maneuvering with positive and accurate control. The maneuver, particularly in formation, is used to develop and demonstrate the pilot's mastery of the airplane in maximum performance flight conditions. The Super Tucano is a reliable and cost-effective solution for basic and advanced flight and combat training, close air support operations, and counterinsurgency scenarios. The Super Tucano has been actively engaged in the various defense headquarters operations, such as Operation Hadinka in the northeast and Operation Haderindaji in the northwest. The Phantom formation has completed the Lazy 8 maneuver in Vic formation and is now performing a 360 degrees echelon turn to reposition for a bomb burst overhead this arena. The aircraft is built for light attack combat with a versatile and powerful turboprop engine, making it appropriate for counterinsurgency in Nigeria. The aircraft is known for its rugged and durable design, which allows it to perform from even unimproved runways at forward operating bases. The Phantoms are now setting up for the bomb burst. The bomb burst is a maneuver carried out by aircraft in formation to simulate actual bomb delivery onto a target. The formation goes into a dive and pulls up to disperse in several directions from the dive. Acquire the Phantoms at the 12 o'clock position as they execute the maneuver. The graceful execution of the bomb burst maneuver is a mark of salutation from the Phantoms as they exit the display arena. May I crave your indulgence to give the Phantom formation a resounding applause for that wonderful performance. Next to perform maneuvers overhead is the Cobra formation comprising 3 L-39ZA aircraft. The Cobra formation will be performing a Lazy 8 maneuver in Vic formation, echelon turn in close trail formation, and thereafter reform to Vic for the bomb burst. Ladies and gentlemen, the L-39 will be displaying with smoke in green and white national colors. Ladies and gentlemen, at the 11 o'clock high position, you acquire the L-39ZA formation. The L-39ZA aircraft, nicknamed Albatross, is a 2-seat aircraft powered by a single turbojet engine. The aircraft was manufactured by Aero Vodokody Aviation of Czech Republic and was inducted into the Nigerian Air Force in November 1986. The aircraft is designed to conduct basic, advanced, and combat training. However, with its associated armament system and stores, the aircraft is also capable of conducting combat missions. Since its induction, the aircraft has successfully been used for the training of numerous fighter pilots in the Nigerian Air Force. The most notable trainee in service is the current Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, who was a member of Basic Flying Course 11. Distinguished guests, your 10 o'clock high is the Cobra formation in the Lazy 8 maneuver. The aircraft will be dispensing smoke in the Nigerian national colors as a mark of celebration of 24 years of uninterrupted democracy and peaceful transition of political power. It is a sign of our hope and prayer for our dear nation. The history of aviation in Nigeria began in Kano as the first aircraft to arrive in Nigeria did so on 1st November 1925, when Flight Lieutenant Cunningham of the Royal Air Force planned a flight from Helwan, Egypt to Kano, Nigeria. The entire Nigerian airspace has subsequently been referred to as the Kano Airfire or Flight Information Region. The Cobra formation is flown by an elite squad of instructor pilots operating from the 403 Flying Training School based in Kano, regarded as the home of the Cobras. This is because the portion of the Kano airport occupied by the air base has historically been a habitat for snakes with a preponderance of the Cobra species, hence the moniker home of the Cobras. However, from a flyer's point of view, the instructor pilots of the school identify as the Precision Falcons.
Okay, nice one.
After the lazy 8 maneuver, the formation is now reforming to close trail. So rather than flying side by side, the aircraft will be in line formation. This formation allows for greater maneuverability but still requires maximum focus of the crew.
This will be then down.
The school is the custodian of the Nigerian Air Force flying training standards. It will interest you to note that at some point in his career, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Oladayo Amao, was himself a Precision Falcon and is therefore regarded as a Cobra Chief or King Cobra. The unit is commanded by my humble self. Therefore, it is with particular pride that I recognize the efforts of these highly dedicated and professional instructor pilots. The formation is led by Wing Commander Lalas Onalaja and Flight Lieutenant O.J. Good Edem. Number 2, we have Squadron Leader Bumaye Chunda Ebel and Flight Lieutenant Chief Obiahu. Number 3, we have Squadron Leader Jerry Knight and Apebu and Flight Lieutenant Ekoraji. Since its induction, the aircraft has successfully been used for training over 80% of Nigerian Air Force fighter pilots.
So it's because it's outside. That's outside.
Next, the formation has reformed into Vic and is preparing for the last maneuver, which is the bomb bust. The bomb bust with smoke in Nigerian national colors is a perfect salute to this distinguished audience and signifies the end of the Cobra formation display. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Cobra formation. The next aircraft to display is the F-7NI call sign Tiger. This Tiger will be performing 2 aileron rolls, a maximum rate turn, and set up for a zoom climb capped up by an aileron roll as it departs. The aircraft is flown by Squadron Leader Supersonic Trick Ayuba and operates out of 101 Air Defense Group Makurdi.
You can't go beyond that. Yes, that's how no, because of the funds. It can't now. When you don't the funds.
Ladies and gentlemen, acquire the F-7 as it performs aileron rolls. A round of applause, please. The F-7NI is a single-seat, single-engine supersonic fighter interceptor with a maximum speed of Mach 2.0. This means that the aircraft can move at twice the speed of sound. The aircraft is now performing a maximum rate turn to set up for a zoom climb. Even the birds are jealous of this powerful and highly maneuverable fighter interceptor. Fly like a jet pilot. The F-7 has been actively engaged in various defense headquarters operations such as Operation Hadinkai in the northeast and Operation Wild Stroke in the north central. Ladies and gentlemen, acquire the JF-17 at the 12 o'clock position as it completes its max rate turn. This turn is being performed with afterburners. The afterburners act to increase the thrust of the aircraft.
It's fair enough now. No, it's still fair.
The F-7 is now setting up for the zoom climb with afterburners.
But breeze going to move on. Breeze. Okay.
The aircraft is capable of climbing at the victory roll performed from the climb marks the end of the Tiger's display and is also a sign of compliment to this great audience as the Tiger exits. Next is the JF-17 with call sign Thunder.
Let's close.
The aircraft is piloted by Wing Commander Jude Obadan. The JF-17, otherwise known as the Guardian of the Skies, is the first line of defense of the Nigerian airspace in the event of any hostilities from the air. This aircraft also operates out of the 101 Air Defense Group and forms the nucleus of our air defense system. The aircraft will execute a 360 degrees max rate turn with afterburners and thereafter set up for victory rolls overhead.
Victor.
The JF-17 is one of the most recently acquired aircraft in the Nigerian Air Force inventory, having been inducted in 2021. The aircraft was manufactured as a joint venture between Pakistan Aeronautic Complex and Chengdu Aircraft Industries of China.
What? How?
It's a 4.5 generation supersonic multi-role fighter aircraft possessing excellent air-to-air and air-to-surface capabilities.
Yes.
The aircraft is now setting up to perform victory rolls overhead this arena.
Okay. Good. Check. Yes. Better. Yeah.
And roll. The graceful execution of the victory roll is the thunder salutation to our special guest of honor and this distinguished audience as it departs. May I humbly request you give a round of applause for that thunderous display by the Thunder Rider, keeping guard over our airspace. The display by the Thunder draws a curtain on the aerial display segments. We appreciate the effort of our indefatigable engineers and technicians who work tirelessly to ensure that our machines are airworthy, as well as the air traffic controllers who manage the airspace and ensure our deconfliction. On behalf of the Aerial Display Committee Chairman, Group Captain MB Mwazu, I thank you very much for your attention. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I shall now hand over the mic back to Captain Abakwa.
Thank you very much, Group Captain MK Nanle, for a very brilliant commentary on the air display by the Nigeria Air Force. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please may we appreciate Group Captain MK Nanle once more for a very wonderful commentary on the air display. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the air display by the Nigeria Air Force, we shall be witnessing next the cultural troop display by the National Cultural Troop of Nigeria.
Okay. Over to you.
At this point, may I once again hand over the microphone to my co-compare Flight Lieutenant Festus Ezenyi to guide us through the cultural display.
Thank you very much, Captain Anebi Ababa. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, about to witness a performance by the Adila Dance Acrobatics. That's the hype man coming out to set
Nigeria, we are the giants of Africa. This is our home. East, North, South, West, join together for a better Nigeria. Nigeria, this is our home. This is our land. This is our nation. Nigeria, this is our motherland. This is our country. Check over this country. It is ours. It is ours.
That is the hype man of Adila Dance Acrobatics, setting the tone for the performance. In a very short while, you're going to witness exceptionally beautiful and entertaining performance. The Adila Dance Acrobatics is a world-renowned group in the heart of Nigeria.
Land of infrastructure.
With an exceptionally beautiful and entertaining performance, the Adila Acrobatics
digital identity
graced the Independence Parade 2020, 2021, and the Democracy Day Parade of 2022. What you are about to witness is an open act of Afrocentric contemporary display celebrating Nigeria in all its colors with the theme stronger, together.
The drumming of an army. The
colors of the fabrics symbolize the Nigerian flag and colors of the tribes from the 6 geopolitical zones.
This is my motherland.
As you can see, an array of calisthenics, synchronized display, and Afro dance steps.
I hope it's been
on
with
the
you
left
tonight.
and right side of the
I hope it's been with you tonight. This is the dawn of a new era.
See artists performing
This is the dawn of a new era.
painting. While we await to see the magic they're about to perform.
Mesdames et messieurs,
everybody,
les danseurs acrobatiques d'Adila sont bien connus au Nigeria à cause du professionnalisme exceptionnel. Ils sont été invités pour les parades militaires 2021 et pour la célébration de la journée de la démocratie en 2022. Vous verrez une animation afrocentrique contemporaine pour célébrer le Nigeria avec le thème Mieux d'être ensemble. Les couleurs symbolisent le drapeau du Nigeria et les différentes couleurs des tribus de 6 régions géopolitiques du Nigeria. Ce que vous remarquez là, c'est une combinaison des calistheniques, des animations bien synchronisées et des danses africaines. Une performance fantastique à gauche, à droite, c'est des artistes qui démontrent l'émergence d'un nouveau Nigeria. C'est mieux d'être ensemble.
Shut to me, let's go one time. Oh, you go. Everybody. Say what? Say, wait, hey, say, everybody now. Hey, move your body to the beat, tenders. Move your body to the beat, tenders.
You are requested to move away from the state box. If you don't have anything official to do in front of the state box, kindly move back to your seats.
It's good now. There's nothing wrong with it. Come and check. Go back now. No, I'm back. It's okay.
Hey!
It's okay, man.
Hey!
This one is okay. This one.
Hey!
Beautiful display there.
Welcome.
Perfect moves, perfect expressions. A perfect performance. Please, let's put our hands together for Adila Dance Acrobatics.
Welcome to the dawn of a new era.
Fantastic.
Welcome to our home. Be with you. Make some noise.
Merci. Les
Now coming up on
acrobatiques
stage.
d'Adila.
Coming up on stage is the national troupe, cultural troupe of Nigeria, performing a dance drama, Better Together.
La troupe culturelle du Nigeria présente un grand de danse intitulé Mieux d'être ensemble.
The drama you're about to watch, it's a word king of the Nigerian situation. Right now in the society of Wazobia, it is a season of harvests. The citizens have gathered in the city center. As you can see, the farmers are about to till the soil so as to plant their seed for the farming season.
Les citoyens de Wazobia récoltent et plantent leurs produits agricoles pendant la moisson.
As you can see, they are tilling the soil. This is called Kabulu dance from the northeast of Wazobia.
Il s'agit toujours des danseurs de Kabulu du nord-est du Nigeria.
After tilling the soil, by the men, the women are now planting their crops.
Les femmes plantent maintenant les produits agricoles.
A celebration of the harvest by each of the dance group representing a zone in Wazobia. First group to perform in the celebration of the harvest are the Maliki dancers performing the popular Maliki dance from Borno representing the northeast.
Maintenant, ensuite, c'est la danse de Maliki qui est populaire parmi les gens de Borno, de la région du nord-est du Nigeria. C'est la saison de la moisson.
Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, as we sit back to enjoy this beautiful performance, permit me to acquaint you with the National Cultural Troupe of Nigeria. It is a parastatal of the Federal Ministry of Culture and Tourism, the apex performing arts institution in Nigeria, which was formally established in 1991 by Decree number 47, now an act of the National Assembly. The National Troupe of Nigeria is constituted by professional theater administrators and artists whose primary function is to celebrate the rich cultural heritage of Nigeria through dance, music, drama, and children's theater. The National Troupe of Nigeria has since its formal establishment exhibited competence in packaging high artistic productions, specifically designed for national and international consumption. The troupe has had a record of successful artistic outings within the country and have also toured countries in Africa, Europe, the United States of America, and Asia. Based in Lagos, but with a liaison office in Abuja, the National Cultural Troupe of Nigeria is currently under the headship of an artistic director, Chief Executive Officer Ahmed Mohamed Ahmed.
State representing the Northeast. It may interest you to know that His Excellency Vice President Kashim Shettima is from this region of the country.
Ensuite, la danse Maliki, qui est très populaire parmi les gens de Borno, de la région du nord-est du Nigeria. Il faut bien noter que le vice-président, son Excellence, la République fédérale du Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, JCON, est de cette région.
Thank you very much, Maliki dancers. Right now we have on the parade ground the Ikorode, Ode, and Unkwa Umuabo, representing Southeast. The Ikorode, Ode is popular among the people of Enugu State, while Unkwa Umuabo is popular among the people of Ebonyi State.
Le deuxième groupe est du sud-est du Nigeria. La danse Ikorode,
some acrobatics, and now we have the
il y a vraiment une harmonie excellente. Oh là là!
Citizens from the south-south zone of Wazobia with young dance, a very popular celebrative dance. among the people of the South-South region.
Ensuite, c'est le tour des gens du Sud-Sud avec la danse.
Thank you, the Inyok dance. Thank you, Inyok dance.
Merci.
Let's welcome.
Amusez-vous bien.
Of celebration that is popular amongst the Baggy people of Federal Capital Territory, Nasarawa and Niger States.
Mesdames et messieurs, ensuite, c'est la danse de Baggy qui est très populaire parmi les citoyens de la territoire capitale fédérale des États de Nasarawa et Niger. Au nord central, il vient de la région
Baden Joe. Chers amis, nous sommes toujours des 6 régions que nous avons au Nigeria. Ceux qui sont en train de présenter sont les attachements d'Abuja. On les trouve non seulement à Abuja, mais aussi à l'État du Niger. Ils dansent ensemble dans les tubes de Wadi. Je vois les femmes ne sont pas abandonnées. C'est eux qui donnent la direction. Elles dansent très bien. Voici
dancers. We appreciate you. Beautiful performance there. Next to come on stage is the Yengbe Akwekwe dance, coming up from the southwest of Wazobia. The Yengbe Akwekwe dance is popular among the people of Lagos and Ogun states. And it may interest you to know that His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from this part of the region. Please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Yengbe Akwekwe dancers.
Ensuite, c'est la danse de Yengbe Akwekwe présentée par les gens du sud-ouest du Nigeria, c'est-à-dire du Latin, Togo et du Lagos. Ça peut vous intéresser, pour son Excellence, le président Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Dancers from the southwest region of the Wazobia.
Les dansants Akwekwe de la région géopolitique du sud-ouest. On vous remercie pour cette performance. Très bien, très bien.
As the people were enjoying themselves, there is a commotion in the society. The bad eggs in the society have decided to strike the people. And you can see there are bandits who have come to kidnap men and women of the Wazobia while trying to cut away their properties.
Malheureusement, vers la fin de cette danse, les bandits ont attaqué les citoyens de Wazobia en volant leurs produits. Des bandits ont été arrêtés par les militaires. Vous voyez là? Les bandits capitulent.
With the help of the security agencies, the bandits will be reunited and reintegrated into the society.
Ils sont réintégrés.
As you can see,
dans la société, comme vous voyez,
their guns.
Et les citoyens dansent ensemble en réjouissant à cause de la victoire.
And together they do a unity dance, the unity dance that is going to end with an N formation signifying one Nigeria.
Ils sont réintégrés dans la société et les citoyens dansent la danse d'unité. Ils forment l'alphabet N.
And at the end, you're going to do, thank you, President Mohamed Buhari. Welcome, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And thank you to the Nigerian security agencies. Please, a round of applause for this performance. It's a wonderful one.
N qui signifie un Nigeria unifié. Vous remarquez que les trois dansants sont là.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the dance drama you just watched is a microcosm of the Nigerian situation, just like every other country. Yes, we may have our security challenges, but the good news is that the armed forces of Nigeria, in joint operations with other security agencies, is winning the war. Please, let's put our hands together for this wonderful performance. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Nous avons des forces armées bien douées et capables de résoudre ces problèmes.
Through this drama, the Nigerians are saying thank you, President Mohamed seats. An entertaining performance there. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this point, may I hand over to Captain Godfrey Abakwa.
Consistent des experts dans le domaine du théâtre. Ils reflètent notre héritage culturel et ils présentent la danse, la musique et les drames afin d'éveiller la conscience du peuple et des citoyens du Nigeria. Ils ont représenté le pays aux États-Unis, en Europe, en Asie. Ils sont basés à Lagos avec Mohamed Ahmed comme directeur. Merci beaucoup.
Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of that very beautiful performance by the National Cultural Troops of Nigeria and the Adila Cultural Troop, what we shall be witnessing next is the advance in review order. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what you are witnessing at the moment is the various guards taking dressing preparatory for the advance in review order. Beautiful. Please a round of applause for that beautiful halting at the end of the advance in review order. Thank you.
Ça, c'est la militaire nigériane pour vous, mesdames et messieurs.
Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, very senior officers, ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the advance in review order, next on our program is the inauguration address by His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. May I most respectfully request the Commander Gas Brigade to invite the President for his inaugural address. The Commander, sir.
Mesdames et messieurs, c'est le moment de allocution présidentielle. Et voilà, nous allons le privilège d'écouter notre nouveau président, son Excellence Bola Ahmed Tinubu, qui va nous adresser bientôt. Merci beaucoup.
The baton has changed. The respected, highly commendable President and former President of Nigeria departed for his home base. My regards to him. All the excellencies, the head of state, presidents, and leaders of various countries here present. Former head of state, a great man, committed and highly honest to the development of this country, General Yakubu Gowon. My dear wife, the new First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu. Your Excellency, Vice President Kassim Shettima and his wife Nana Shettima. Senate President, distinguished Senators Ahmed Lawan, House of Representatives Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila and his wife Salamatu. The Chief Justice of the Federation, Olukayode Ariwola, Your Excellencies, Governors, here present, the Chairman of our party, APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, former APC Interim Chairman, Chief Bisi Akande, and my brother and uncle, Chief Segun Osoba. Distinguished Senators and Honorable Members of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ministers and members of the just dissolved National Executive, members of diplomatic corps, the royal fathers, men of the armed forces, I salute you for your sacrifices and the supreme sacrifices you've made for this country, for the men and women. We thank you. And we thank you the way today is going well. Gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow citizens, I stand before you honored to assume the sacred mandate you have given me. My love for this nation is abiding. My confidence in its people unwavering, and my faith in God Almighty is absolute. I know that His hand shall provide the needed moral strength and clarity of purpose in those instances when even it seems to have reached the limit of human capacity. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this day is bold and majestic, yet bright and full of spirit, as is our precious nation. As a nation, we have long ago decided to march beyond the dimness of night into open day of renewed national hope. The question is, and we must now ask ourselves, is whether to remain faithful to the work inherent in the building of a better society, or retreat into the shadows of our unmet potential. For me, there is but no one answer. There are we are too great a nation and too grounded as a people to rob ourselves of our finest destiny. The nation's journey has been shaped by the prayers of our founding fathers and other millions, and the collective sacrifices of us all. We have endured the hardship that will have made other societies crumble. We have shouldered the heavy burden to arrive at this sublime moment where the prospect of a better future merges with our improved capacity to create that future. To the surprise of many, but not to ourselves, we have more firmly established this land as a democracy in both word and deed. The peaceful transition from one government to another now is our political tradition. This handover symbolizes our trust in God, our enduring faith in representative governance and our belief in our ability to reshape this nation into its society it was always meant to be. My brothers and sisters, permit me to say a few words to my predecessor, President Muhammadu Buhari. Mr. President, former. You have been an honest, patriotic leader who has done his best for the nation you love. On a more personal note, you are a worthy partner and a friend. And may history be kind to you. For many years, Nigeria's critics have trafficked that the rumor that our nation will break up, even perish. They have even redesigned the maps. Yet we are here. We have stumbled at times, but resilience and diversity have kept us going, and we will keep going. Our body may make us bend at times, but it shall never break us. Instead, we stand forth as Africa's most populous nation and as the best hope and strongest champion of the black race. As a citizen, we declare as one unified people, devoted to one unified nation, national cause, that as long as this world exists, Nigeria shall exist. Take me back to the old man sitting back there, General Yakubu Gowon. The cliche to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. If you are young or old, you will remember that. Today, faith and destiny join together to place the touch of human progress in our very hands. We dare not let it slip. We lift high this touch so that it might shine on every household and in every heart that calls itself Nigeria. We hold the beam aloft because it lights our path with compassion, brotherhood, and peace. May this great light never extinguish. Say amen. Our administration will govern you only on your behalf, but never rule over you. We shall consult and dialogue, but never dictate. We shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding views contrary to our own. We are here to further mend and heal this nation, not tear and injure it. In this way, may I offer a few comments regarding the election that brought us here today to this junction. Yes, it was a hard-fought contest and was also fairly won. Since the advent of the Fourth Republic, Nigeria has not had an election of a better quality. I say so. The outcome reflected the will of the people. However, my victory does not render me any more Nigerian than my opponent, nor does this render them any less patriotic. They shall forever be my fellow compatriots, and I will treat them as such. They represent important constituencies and concerns that wisdom dare not ignore. Some have taken their concerns to court, seeking legal redress. That is their right, and I fully defend that exercise of this right. This is the essence of the rule of law. Over decades ago, our founding fathers bravely gave us this country to place Nigeria on the map of an independent nation. We must never allow the labor of those who came before us to wither in vain, but to blossom and bring forth a better reality. Let us take the next great step. The journey they began and believed in. Today, let us commit ourselves to placing Nigeria in our hearts as the indispensable home for each and every one of us, regardless of creed, ethnicity, or place of birth. To my supporters, I thank you. To who did vote for me, I thank you as well. I extend my hand across the political divide. I ask you to grasp the national affinity and brotherhood. For me, political coloration has faded away. All I see here are Nigerians. All of you. May we uphold this fitting and excellent notion as a new Nigeria idea. My fellow citizens, Nigeria ideal, which I speak of, is more than just an improvement in economic and statistics. These things are important, but they can never convey the fullness of our story. Our mission is to improve our ways of life in a manner that nurtures our humanity, encourages compassion towards one another, and duly reward our collective effort to social ills that seek to divide us. Our Constitution gave us a nation on paper. We must work hard at bringing these noble documents to life by strengthening the bonds of economic collaboration, social cohesion, and cultural understanding. Let us develop a shared sense of fairness and equality. South must not only seek good for itself, but must understand that its interests are served when goods come to the north. North must not see the south likewise. Whether from the winding creeks of Niger Delta, the fastness of northern savannah, the boardroom of Lagos, the building bustling capital of Abuja, as busy market of Onitsha. You are all my people. As your president, I shall serve you with prejudice towards none, but compassion and amity towards all. In the coming days and weeks, my team will publicly detail the key aspects of our economic program. Today, permit me to outline in broad terms a few initiatives that divide our concept of progressive good governance and furtherance of the Nigerian ideal. The principles that will guide our administration are very simple. Nigeria will be impartially governed according to the rule of law, the Constitution. We shall defend the nation from terror and all form of criminality that threaten the peace and stability of our country. We shall remodel our economy to bring our growth and develop the GDP much better, achieve the GDP much better than we have today. I assure you. Do that through job creation, food security, and an end to extreme poverty. In our administration, women and youth will feature prominently. Our government will continue to take proactive steps, such as championing a credit culture, to discourage corruption while strengthening the effectiveness and efficiency of the various anti-corruption agencies. It has to be a continued work in progress. Security shall be top priority of our administration, because neither prosperity nor justice can prevail amid insecurity and violence. To effectively tackle this, we shall reform both our security doctrine and its architecture. We shall invest more in our security personnel, and it means more than an increase in number. We shall provide better training, equipment, pay, and firepower.
Why people just coming?
On the economy, we target a GDP not less than 6% growth. We aim to accomplish all of this by taking the following steps: budgetary reform, stimulating the economy without engendering inflation, industrial policy to utilize the full range of domestic manufacturing and lessen import dependency. The electricity will become more accessible and affordable to businesses and homes alike. Power generation should nearly double, and transmission and distribution network must improve significantly. We will encourage various state governments to continue to participate in this effort, power generation and distribution of their own. I have a message for our investors, local and foreign. Our government shall review all the complaints about multiple taxation and review various anti-investment inhibitions. We shall ensure that investors and foreign businesses repatriate their hard-earned dividend and profits home. My administration must create meaningful opportunities for our youth. We shall honor our campaign commitment of 1 million jobs and the digital economy. Our government also shall work with the National Assembly to fashion an omnibus job and prosperity bill. This will give our administration the policy space to embark on labor-intensive infrastructural development, improvement, encourage light industry, provide improved social services for the poor, elderly, and vulnerable. On agriculture, rural incomes shall be secured by Commodity Exchange Board, guaranteeing minimal prices for certain crops. Animal products, a nationwide program for the storage and facilities to reduce spoilage and waste. All of that will be undertaken. Agricultural hubs will be created throughout the nation to increase production and engage in credit, promote credit, engage in value-added processing. The livestock will introduce the best modern practices and steps taken to minimize the perennial conflicts. Through this, food will be made more abundant, yet less costly. Farmers shall earn more while the average Nigerians pay less. On infrastructure, we shall continue the efforts of the Buhari's administration on infrastructure development of Nigeria, and you know how many railroad and water infrastructure are required. On fuel subsidy, unfortunately, the budget that I've glimpsed before I assume office and what I've heard is that no provision is there for fuel subsidy. So fuel subsidy is gone. Subsidy can no longer justify its ever increasing cost in the wake of dry resources. We shall instead rechannel whatever so-called to fund into better investment in public infrastructure, education, healthcare, and jobs that will materially improve the lives of our people. Monetary policy. Though house cleaning, thorough house cleaning, is necessary. The central bank must work towards a unified exchange rate. This will direct the fund from arbitrage to meaningful investment and the plant and equipment, jobs that are that will power the real economy. Interest rates need to come down. Currently too high. Anti-people, anti-business. We have to work on all of those. To me, I know I've taken you through a winding time, a long time today. I will end this speech by assuring you that the mandate you have given me is not misplaced. The confidence is there. Hope is back for Nigeria. Just let us be united. Thank you. God bless Nigeria. God bless Federal Republic of Ghana.
Your Excellencies, most distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the inaugural address by the new President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic. Please may we put our hands together once more for His Excellency, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Invités distingués, Mesdames et Messieurs, vous venez d'entendre la locution présidentielle de son Excellence, le Président de la République fédérale du Nigeria et commandant en chef des forces armées du Nigeria, son Excellence, Président Bola Ahmed Tinubu, JCRF. Merci, Excellence, et félicitations.
Thank you very much. At the end of the inaugural address, what we'll be witnessing next is the 3 hearty cheers. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please may we all rise for the 21-gun salute. Officers and warrant officers in uniform are to salute, and may I respectfully request our distinguished guests not to panic at the sound of the artillery guns by the State House Artillery Battery. Thank you.
Mesdames et messieurs, n'ayez pas peur s'il vous plaît. Le son que vous aurez, c'est le son, ce qu'on appelle triple canon. Ça c'est en l'honneur du président. Merci, n'ayez pas peur s'il vous plaît.
At the end of the national anthem, the parade commander will now ride to take permission from the special guest of honor to march off the colors and the rest of the parade. Please, may I request we all rise as a mark of respect while officers and warrant officers in uniform.
To march off the colors and rest of the parade, Your Excellency.
Presidential permission has been sought and graciously granted there by His Excellency, the Special Guest of Honor, which brings us to the end of today's unique and historic occasion, which is the swearing-in ceremony of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. On behalf of the Central Organizing Planning Committee, members of the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Nigeria Police, we appreciate the Special Guest of Honor and other invited guests for being with us to mark this historic occasion, which is the inauguration and swearing-in ceremony of the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your compares have been Captain Godfrey Anebi Abakpa, the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations Gas Brigade, Flight Lieutenant Festus Ezenyi of the Nigeria Air Force, Lieutenant Odunayo Lokodana of Gas Brigade Nigerian Army, and the French interpreters have been Mrs. Olubumi Badejo and Mr. Mohamed Tijani. We say goodbye. We thank you for coming. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Well, this effectively signifies the conclusion of this inauguration ceremony and the swearing-in of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As it is popularly said, the old...
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's been a long train today. The boat set sail at 8 a.m. where we brought you the full bouquet and compliments of the Daybreak program, and then we signed off to the Eagle Square, where the biggest event on the African soil had just taken place. The 16th president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria just took it out of office, and we have with us the brand new president, if you like, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the 6th civilian president-elect, the 16th in the series since our independence, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, officially. You're hearing that from me.
What an occasion,
right.
Sunday.
And he said a lot of things have gone on in the Eagle Square, quite some of them historical and memorial. We saw cultural troops from across the geopolitical zones, the Atulugu, the special dance from the native Borno. I wonder if you still know how to...
I actually do. I have a few moves.
One of those days we will have you demonstrate it in the studio.
No problem at all.
And all of the ceremonial event from our military, or rather from the Nigerian Armed Forces. We saw the air display for the first time. I was seeing the Super Tucano, not in the War Theatre, but a display at the Eagle Square. And we have an avalanche of world leaders who also witnessed this live. We also saw the departure of the former president. What an irony.
Yeah, it was a sad moment there,
sad
I think.
Moment, leaving for his native Dora, leaving the stage properly for the president, the newest president. We now have joining us in the studio Mr. Mujid Dairu, who is a friend of yours, incidentally, who is a columnist with the Daily Sun newspaper, and also joining him is Robinson Okeke from Luxtara's Leadership Foundation in Abuja. Gentlemen,
you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So just before you ask the question, I just want to know your thoughts, because there was a lot of excitement, at the Eagle Square, and especially when the president actually took his oath of office. There were cheers, people clapping, and everything. But does that translate to the ambience outside of the Eagle Square?
Well, if you are there, there is so much of emotions that's running in the Eagle Square. Remember, people who would have taken the stress and they pay to be in the Eagle Square, people who are heavily invested in this election. So it's normal for you to see that's like the apex of everything that they are putting. They are seeing before the efforts, the campaign, the toiling across the country come to fruition with that eventual. And remember, in the last 3 weeks, if you like, in the last 2 months, it's been one kind of warning or the other about some people wanting to scuttle the inauguration
well and all that.
And all that, and assurance and reassurance by the security forces that they are trying to stop something supernatural from making this inauguration happen. So finally it did. Everybody can go to bed now. Now beckons the serious challenge of nation building and everything that awaits him. And that brings us to this conversation. And I will start with you, Mr. Dairo. You listened to the president's inaugural speech, which waited forever.
Yes.
I mean, we all have been waiting in the last 3.5 hours.
Exactly.
To get a feel of what directions are we going to be headed, different from how we have traveled in the last 8 years. He said quite a number of things. If we begin to drill down on them, we may not even, I mean, a 5-hour studio session may not be enough.
Yes.
What is the most striking of what the president has said in his inaugural speech, as far as you're concerned?
Okay, the 2023 presidential election was, for me, and I'm sure for many Nigerians, the most consequential in the history of this country. Similarly, the inauguration address by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, GCFR, can also be said to be the most consequential of such addresses in the history of this country. Yes. And if you are taking your time to study his manifesto, his renewed hope policy document, and if you had followed through some of the statements he's made during the campaign, and if you compare that with the speech he just delivered, I think what is most striking about it is the honesty of purpose that he just displayed. No matter how unpalatable some of the things he actually said he was going to do may have come across a lot of Nigerians. The honesty, the integrity of his manifesto has been reaffirmed by his boldness to take actions along the line he stated during the campaign. For example, he talked about subsidy removal, which must have come as a shock to a lot of Nigerians. And by the way, his other co-contestants, particularly the candidate of the PDP, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, and the candidate of the Labour Party, similarly, Mr. Peter, similarly also pledged to remove subsidy. But sometimes one would have thought that because of the sensitivity of subsidy on petroleum, particularly as it pertains to Nigeria, you may have some level of political playing around when you assume position of presidency in order not to upset the apple cart. But what this man has just displayed, our new president, is that he means exactly what he said during the campaign. So he wasn't just playing to the gallery. He wasn't saying one thing and meaning something else. I may not agree with the idea of subsidy removal or the timing, but what I'm saying is he's bold enough to take actions, make statements, and indicate that he will take further action in line with exactly what the campaign is. It's a clear departure from what we saw in 2015 when there were denials of campaign documents, campaign promises. Even when most of those things were not directly said by him, but were contained in the document, because I took my time to bring through those documents. And I also think that for a Nigerian like me, my overall assessment of the speech or the address, despite my reservations about subsidy, which is a topic for another entire discussion, is that ordinarily in the media, newspaper columnists like us and commentators like my brother Robinson would have been setting an agenda for the incoming administration. What the president has just done is that he has set his own agenda for us to actually be discussing. And that is what an effective government is supposed to be all about. Being ahead of public conversation, so that when I go to the studio tomorrow or another day, I'll be discussing the merits and demerits of some of the things he's raised. He's raised very solid points. Like I said, everything this man has said today is in his manifesto. Particularly the credit line that he has promised to activate in order to solve corruption problem. For him, corruption problem is a matter of cause and effect. To him, it is what I've described several in some of my write-ups to us. Certain factors that are responsible for aggravating corruption. And I think I've identified that. And some of these things, these factors include insecurity, financial insecurity, inequalities, inadequacies, things that simply makes it impossible for you to resist the temptation of stealing government money. So he's trying to say, look, if you want to make this war effective, provide people's basic needs through an elaborate credit scheme. You don't talk about power. And he said power should be available and affordable. So I'm thinking, is it that you want to shift subsidy now from PMS to power? All of this come under the purview of energy security anyway. But the point is, he's been making good his campaign promises even from his first statement. And most importantly, too, he talked about agriculture. I watched his engagement in Mina when he met with agropreneurs from the northern part of the country. And in that, at that event, he pledged actually to set up the commodity exchange board. He has reiterated that today. And I think it's a good idea. So by and large, for a Nigerian like my hope is slightly renewed, because I wasn't so, optimistic about the entire process. But my hope is slightly renewed because he's made very firm, actionable statements that we can hold on to, including certain, he was even dedicating timelines for deliverables, including, if I must also say, a legislative agenda that seems close to what you had in 1929 in the United States of America under President F.D. Roosevelt. The New Deal. He has his own idea of a New Deal that is going to send to the National Assembly for passage into law so that he can use that package, that law, to stimulate massive labor-intensive, if you understand what it means. That he's going to create, he's going to use that opportunity to create large-scale jobs for infrastructural development in order to spur the economy without causing inflation. So this, to me, is a product of a deep mind, a fertile mind, that seems to understand
what is expected.
And thankfully, he didn't blame the past administration on one before his inheritance.
All right. Before Usina comes on, Mr. Robinson, Mr. Dairo has taken us summarily on quite a number of the things he has said. What was going through your mind, while he made those speech? And I say this because, like he rightly identified, he has set the tone. Should this begin to suggest to us the kind of people that will form the team around him? Because, I mean, whatever went into writing this speech were some very deep thoughts. And if you leave execution to shallow minds, as we have seen in recent times, they may not even understand the depth of this conception and may just model up the deliveries at the end of the day. What, following this inauguration, and all of the things you have said, what should we expect in the coming days in terms of the quality of human resource that would deliver on some of this mandate?
Okay, I think while listening to the president, I was just saying to myself, this is a man who is not afraid of making promises. And I kept saying, I hope this man is not thinking we are gathered here for campaign. That this is now actual governance. He is now the president and commander-in-chief. And so it's no longer like going around campaigning, canvassing for votes. But this is now actual governance. But then, if we know the person who is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, coming from his antecedents, we know he is a man that is very, very pragmatic. And he's strong-minded. He knows his goal, and he set out to achieve it. And that we can give to him. Listening to him, I saw a lot of renewed hope. And I think that document, well titled, Renewed Hope. And just like you asked, how is he going to achieve this? Because definitely he is going to be the arrowhead. And then he will need other people to work with him. First, I want to say that we don't need him to wait 60 days before appointing his ministers. Because I want to believe that since the announcement of his victory was made, that he should have been able to put a team together waiting to unleash them. And the Bola Tinubu that I know is a man that knows how to get the best of people to work for him. I just hope that age has not taken that part of him away from him. So believing fully in him, that he has the ability, the capability to gather technocrats. The mistake of maybe the last administration, I can say that the very day President Muhammad Buhari, former, announced his cabinet members, Nigerians started screaming. From that day, we knew that these men cannot deliver.
The change that was
promised. So we look forward to a team of people to work with him that will be able to deliver on his campaign promises.
Okay, so let's come back to you now. If you listen to his speech, the president actually talked or harped on unity, and he talked about strengthening unity. He even went as far as saying that he has nothing against his opponents who are actually taking him to court, saying it's their rights and everything. But we've actually heard talks like that, speeches like that in the past. Would we see like a revenge agenda against his opponents?
Okay, Robinson talked about his antecedents, and because he is a Lagosian, he spent most of his formative years as a Lagos resident, and so he's a bona fide Lagosian. And I think he has an insight into this question if asked, and I'm sure you make a strong contribution. But let me say this. Going back, the same antecedents that we know of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think if there's one politician in this country, in recent history, that is very tolerant of opposition, that is very magnanimous, even in victory, that is not known to persecute his opponents, I think that politician is Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Lagos is the hub of opposition in Nigeria, against his person, against his candidacy, against his party. For example, he lost the ballot, even in Lagos. He lost in his polling units of residents. He lost in his local government area of residents. He lost in a case where he votes. And he lost the state to an opposition candidate. Yet, not a single building has been demolished in Lagos. Nobody has been arrested because of that. Rather, we've seen emissaries from Bola Ahmed Tinubu visiting his enemies, his opponents, like Body George, asking him to please come on board and that he's welcome, that he shouldn't go on exile. And this has been the consistent case in Lagos since 1999, that he has been the undisputed leader of the politics in Lagos. So I do not expect him to change from that. And if you look at his speech, it was very rich and reassuring when it comes to national unity. Bola Tinubu actually is a detribalized Nigerian. And he has a robust pan-Nigerian credential. And that was what earned him this victory that today he's celebrating. And I don't think he's going to change at this time. Or rather, let us also use that as an agenda setting suggestion for him to say, look, do not depart from that which you know which we know of you. Maybe if you maintain that which we know about you, and you continue along that path, probably Nigeria will be healed faster, there will be unity, and there will be prosperity. Because without national unity, you can't have any form of national security, national development, or prosperity for the citizens. So the imperatives of national unity is something that we can't overemphasize. And to give life to that will be not to marginalize any section of the country on the basis of their democratic choices. We want to see an inclusive government, one that is devoid of sectionalism, nepotism, tribalism, religious bigotry, and all sorts of divisive tendencies. And I trust that he can do that, because he did the same thing in Lagos when it wasn't even very fashionable to include Nigerians of other ethnicities in his cabinet. He did it in Lagos. So we're expecting him to do even more at the center, as he has just pledged.
Okay. Mr. Robinson, do you have more to say on that?
Yeah, I think it will be a disservice even to his own government to attempt to exclude any part of this country, from the table of decision, because our diversity brings richness, and once you exclude a part of us, you are running on your own. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our president, I happen to be in Lagos, okay? Of course, I grew up in Lagos. So I know when he was elected governor of Lagos State, I was there throughout his tenure as a governor. And I can proudly say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a pan-Nigerian. Because even while we did our, SSCE and all of that, he was our governor. And from the state purse, he paid for every child in Lagos State to write SSCE. Not submit me the names of people from my place. For everybody. All he cared about was bring the lists you have from your school. Bring the list you have from your school. How many are they? How much is it? And the state paid for everybody. Not just 1 year. I mean, it was a normal thing for him. And so we all have this sense of belonging to Lagos State. And we all saw ourselves as Lagosians. Even today, I still refer to myself as a Lagosian because that's where I grew up. And so I benefited a lot from his administration. And even the place where I grew up, which happened to be an Igbo-dominated area, I know how over and over again he did the road because it is a waterlogged area. He did the road the first time. It got washed away by water. He did the second time. The same thing happened. That was the first time I saw a road constructed using, what do you call it? Interlocks. He used interlock to do the road. And that was a permanent solution. He didn't say, oh, this is an Igbo-dominated area. So I want to believe that, based on what he said, that he is going to do that.
All right.
To carry everybody along.
All right, Dairo, I'm coming back to you again. As somebody who has a lot of interest in the economy and numbers, I kept listening because I wanted to, well, not because his background is in doubt. I mean, he was the treasurer of Mobile.
Yes.
That's the finest he can get. That's how good he can get as far as practicing his profession is concerned. So he has a good balance of the public and private sector experience. But I was waiting because every time we have leaders in this country, they seem to dwell more on the political side than the economic side, because it is with the economy that you can impact on every household and create a sense of belonging or a sense of nationhood. He spoke to exchange rates. He spoke to repatriation of dividends. He spoke to agricultural commodity board, even though we have them around, but we don't seem to patronize them, but they've been revived. He spoke to multiple taxation, which is one thing that is killing manufacturing. He spoke to devolution of power generation to states. Devolution and distribution, which is a conversation we have shied away from for too long because we claim they're in the exclusive reserve. And he spoke to connecting this country with road and rail infrastructure. If you were a private sector player, especially the manufacturing arm that has cried wolf, how would you receive, or rather, how would you describe what you have heard with regards to how you then begin to think about your own long-term plan as an industrialist in this country?
It's a very important question you just asked. If I were to be an active industrialist or a player in the real sector of the economy, I would be a little bit left with cautious optimism. My optimism will be raised because it is clear that the person speaking to me as my president today is a businessman who understands how businesses work, who knows what it takes to make businesses to work. And you know, businesses are the building blocks of an economy. So I'll be optimistic, but I'll have some caution because the details will still need to be made available and the implementation plan.
Yes, that reminds me, without cutting your short.
Yes.
He said in the coming weeks, my ministers will be detailing their plans on the economy, which sort of implies that he probably had drawn up a plan like a KPI for whoever will take over this.
Which is part of the reasons why my optimism has been raised, but cautiously. Cautiously in the sense that we will now be discussing the alternatives to whatever he's bringing if we find them not so comfortable. And I'm looking forward to that robust conversation in this country where the finest of our brains will no longer be engaged in mundane conversations in the public arena, but competitive ideas on how to say, look, I think this is a good proposal, but I think I have a better idea. Now, on the issue of the harmonized exchange rate, it's a good proposition. But in harmonizing the exchange rate, are we going to have a devalued naira? Or are we going to have the harmonization stay at the current value that is the official rate, or the black market rate, or even something of less value? These are the details we need to get sorted out, because whatever it takes, Nigeria economy can no longer take too much of devaluation of its national currency, because we're still an import-dependent economy. So something needs to be done in that direction. How do we make sure that in harmonizing the exchange rate, the naira does not devalue more than this? At least in the middle, let us achieve stability of exchange rate, and then put in place processes that will bring it further down, because the desired exchange rate should be a naira to a dollar. I mean, but I know that that is just what is desired. But something reasonable that will not erode Nigeria's purchasing power as a nation and not increase our cost of production.
Or even our cost of debt service, because they are in
our cost of debt service too. Now, on the issue of eliminating multiple taxation in this country, it's something that will excite manufacturers and businessmen. And I hope that he will match his words with action in this direction. As a matter of fact, I want to see taxes lowered at this time in order to allow businesses breathe. So if you cannot lower company income tax, please eliminate the other taxes that are in multiple forms that have added to the cost of production and made the use of doing business in Nigeria almost elusive. We also want to see something around tariffs for import and export. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria has no business charging tariffs for export. Export tariffs should be absolutely free, because we need all of the exports we can get at this point in time. So tariffs for export should be eliminated completely and made very easy to achieve. Now, on the issue of what was it he raised again?
You talked about agricultural board.
Yes, that's very commendable, because we need to actually, like he said, put more money in the hands of farmers, while at the same time achieving food security by way of availability and affordability. Excellent. Like I said, that speaks to a key component of his campaign manifesto. So for him to have reiterated it today means he meant what he was saying during the campaign. It wasn't just rhetoric. And so we are seeing an affirmation of what is contained in his working document. So I think that is quite reassuring. However, on the long-term level, he talked about investors, that is, try to boost investors' confidence now, and their ability to repatriate their profits. That is good to attract the much-needed foreign investment to stimulate the economy. But let me just say this as a way of setting an agenda for him. I think in the long run, just should be looking at overseas investment as well. We also need to retweak our foreign policy to make it less political and more economic, or to put it bluntly, make it more moralistic and make it more realistic, in order to also have a piece of the global resources through overseas direct investments from Nigeria, from where we can also repatriate foreign exchange back home,
to Nigeria,
just as our own the FDIs in Nigeria are repatriating back home, because FDIs are actually more profitable to the country of origin.
That's right. Thank you very much, Mr. Robinson. I would like your closing thoughts. I understand that we are running out of time. What are your expectations? What is your message to Nigerians with regards to all this? How do we absorb this in terms of moderating expectations and allowing room for surprises?
Yeah, I know. He said that expectations will set you up. And I think that's one of the challenges Nigerians have with the past administration. There was so much expectations, and then at a long run, it wasn't forthcoming as expected. So I want to ask Nigerians to, yes, let's keep hope alive. At the same time, let us be ready to change.
Yeah.
Because the truth remains that nation building is task for everybody. We must all make our own little contributions to make the holistic, to come true. Because if at your own level, you are not doing what you're supposed to do, then you are causing harm to the overall good that is expected in the country.
Sunday, let's not also forget that he promised meaningful jobs for the youths as well, and he promised 1 million jobs
the
for the
digital
youth.
ecosystem.
Let's hope.
Yes, we are going to. You can be sure here in the studio we would note all of this these promises, these deliverables, and we will continue to ring them in his ears so that come this time, in another 4 years, we'll be able to say of the things you mentioned, this is how far we have come and this is how much we need to go. Robinson has made the point that nation building is everybody's business. It's a connected chain. If he wants to, and we are not willing to move with him, we will become a dead weight and, of course, an obstacle in the wheel of progress. This is the much that we can bring to you. I hope that Dairo and Robinson had been able to provide deeper perspectives on some of the things he said. We will continue to x-ray those speeches, as Dairo has said, and I'm sure you can look forward to his column to provide more perspective. And Robinson, we would always find a way of bringing him back to the studio some other time to continue to drill down on some of these especially the specifics of how these deliverables will be brought to bear. It's been a wonderful time with you, and we want to thank you for allowing us access into your living room free of charge, always. And I hope we have brought you value this Monday morning, this wonderful day, 29th of May, 2023. I am Sunday Michael Ogu. Let's do this again tomorrow.
And I'm Darshan Husseina Usman. Have a wonderful day.